everyone, this is Mrs. Mann-Deibert, and we're going to be making a collagraph. A collagraph is a type of printing plate that you can make from things around your house. Today we're going to need some cardboard or cereal or cracker boxes, any empty box. I like to use Starbucks sleeves, but if you don't have those on hand, any cardboard will do. You're also going to need some glue, scissors, tape, white copy paper, and a crayon. Before we start on our collagraph, let's go for a walk together. Well, how about you go for a walk and I'll go for a walk? To gather some inspiration, make sure to ask your parents for permission and remember to keep 6 feet away from other people outside of your home. I went in my backyard and was really inspired by some of the plants growing in the springtime. We have some, I would say, lily pad shaped ground covering, some asparagus fern, and a willow tree. I was really looking for some interesting shapes and textures and forms, all to bring my collagraph a little bit of nature inside. So now let's sketch some plants. I turned my sleeve for my Starbucks coffee inside out, and I used that as the inspiration for my asparagus fern. So I wanted to catch those little leaf shapes that run horizontally and really kind of think about how can I make that shape onto my Starbucks sleeve in a simple way to cut out. Before we get too much further into cutting out the cardboard of the sleeve though, let's take a moment to cut out our collagraph board from a cracker box. I'm going to do this pretty quickly just so that you get the idea, but I want to try to save 2 full sides of my cracker box, and I'm going to cut off the edges and really open that box up so that I'll have 2 rectangles. I'm going to use one today to make our collagraph, and I might use one a little bit later. So I'm just going to cut along the edge, and I'm using safety scissors to really get that box the most potential. Open up the bottom and flatten it out, and voila, there's our big surface. I'm going to cut that large rectangle out as close to the edge as possible and try to trim it pretty neatly to make sure that I don't have any of those little extra bumpy edges, because I want all of my collagraph bumps to be my own, not the cereal box. If you need a little help from an older sibling or a parent, this is a good time to get some help. So we want to have our collagraph plate, that rectangle from the cereal box that I'm cutting out, to be as neat as possible so that when we put our collagraph shapes on it, they are going to look their best. So the box is all cut out, and now I'm back to looking at my Starbucks sleeves, which I'm going to end up using both sides of my sleeves. Again, you can use whatever materials you have available. The goal is to try to make sure that your thickness of your cardboard is all the same. So you can see from my design here that I used both sides of the corrugated cardboard. I'm going to tape mine down because I don't want it to move. You don't have to tape it down. If you don't have tape, you can just hold it with your hand. But I like to make sure that my surface isn't going to move, especially when the camera is sort of in my way while I'm getting ready to do my rubbing. And you can see my asparagus ferns and my lily pad shapes. And I'm going to put a piece of paper on top, and I'm going to go pretty fast over this. I taped my paper down, and I'm going to do this first with just the edge of a crayon, and I'm pushing probably medium and just going right over, and you can see the design from the collagraph is going right on to my rubbing as I'm burnishing it or rubbing it with a crayon. You can see those lily pad shapes, and you can see the asparagus fern. You can also use the side of a crayon, and I tried both methods, and frankly I didn't like using the side of the crayon any better than doing it the other way. It did feel like it was a little bit quicker, but I didn't think that it looked as neat. So here they are together where you can see them kind of one in front of the other. The first one I did with just the edge of a crayon, and the second one, first one, second one. And that's it. We made a collagraph. I would really love to see your work, so if you can send them to me through Google Classroom, uh, that would be great. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you can also share on Instagram, please find me there and make sure you tag Solana Beach School District, Solana Ranch, which is hashtag SBSDSR, and Solana Beach School District EDU. I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching.